I used to work at a bar on Franklin.
Thank goodness. How's it going? How are you?
Good.
How are you doing?
So good.
Yeah?
I think I've worn this sweater once before when we recorded.
It was a matter of time. I've worn this white Hanes t-shirt before.
We're chronic outfit repeaters.
I actually have, this isn't the same outfit because I have 10 of these t-shirts.
Okay. So it's a version.
Yeah. The thing that they don't know is that we always are wearing the same
Bottoms.
Yeah, the same bottoms. Yeah, we're the same. It's the same.
And
Hey,
you're
it's us. The same bottoms. Same bottoms as last.
And you're
week.
always potting with the same bottom.
Yeah, your version of the joke was better than mine.
With the same bottoms and the same bottom. Fran just said, "Do you want to see Mean Girls today?"
I love the TikToks that are like a theater full of people, and like it's like when nobody knew that it was going to be a musical. And then they start singing, and everyone just goes, "Oh!"
They're literally going, "Oh man."
Yeah, "Oh man," in unison.
Have we described our "Oh man" bit in detail before?
No, I don't think so.
It just started, I think, one day when we were both working, and like somebody walked in, and I realized like I have a table, and I literally just went, "Oh man."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Wow, that was like true disappointment." And then now we just say like all the time, we're just like, "Oh man."
But like for things that are for anything under the sun. Like for example, I get a text that my grandma has liver cancer, and I'm just go, "Oh man." And like the
true story.
The quieter and more calm it is, the funnier it is.
Oh, man.
Like you get run over by a car and you're just like lying on the street like, "Oh man."
Some shit I would do to like calm myself down though. Like if I got like like Sloan in
through the air.
Yeah, if I flew through the air and was slayed in the streets, I'd be on the ground like twitching like, "Oh man."
Oh man. But then we notice because okay, so I have to assume that our audience has watched every episode of SpongeBob the same way that I have.
I have to assume, yeah.
But if you haven't, a standout is the April Fool's Day episode where where SpongeBob's like pranking everyone, and then and his pranks are just fucking psychotic. Yeah. And so Squidward gets sick of it, and he like rigs this like crazy prank for SpongeBob
in the Krusty Krab.
In the Krusty Krab, where he basically just gets the shit beaten out of him. Oh. Gosh darn it! I wonder. I don't know if we missed anything.
I don't think so.
The prank is that he just gets the shit beaten out of him. Like that's all that happens
in extremely elaborate ways.
He gets like a rope tied around his ankle, and then just gets bounced off of every floor and ceiling in the Krusty Krab. And then all the customers see that, and they like kind of form this angry mob around Squidward because they're like, "What the fuck are you?" And SpongeBob's just crying in the corner. He just like
he ends up in a barrel like covered in like sewage or something.
He gets like tarred and feathered. Or
yeah, no, literally. I'm gonna rig this up at our restaurant and do this to certain people who piss me off.
And they're like, and the crowd's encircling Squidward, and he's like, "Come on, guys, you know it was just a joke, right?" And we always quote that because it's funny. Like you just say something so crazy, and then you just have to be like, "Come on, guys."
Yeah, because I was in a group of like 6 men at our restaurant, like just talking.
just talking.
We were just talking, and I said something about how like the vaccine causes autism, and everyone went,
"Oh, well."
Mute. Like everyone literally went silent.
Well, that's not.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, that's not." And then that's when I pulled out you guys know I was just kidding, right? And then everyone busted out laughing, and I was like, "Phew, that was a close one."
And it's such a good way to get out of saying something like, I think one time you were like, you shouted something about your 9/11 footage, and everyone was just like,
no, because I think it was like Deshaun or someone was like, "Have you seen his 9/11 footage?" And I was like, "God, you guys know he's just kidding, right?" Like it works on other people. You'd be like, he's just kidding, right? Like.
But the best thing about that clip that we realized after, only because we had been quoting it from memory, and after rewatching SpongeBob get the shit beaten out of him, and then Squidward go, "You guys know I was just kidding, right?" One of the customers just goes, "Oh man," and we're like, "What the fuck?" It's also tied together.
It happens a lot. I think it seeped into my subconscious, and that's why like maybe I said it, because it was in a Friends episode too, where they're all gossiping about Rachel or whatever, and then she walks in the room, she's like, hey guys, what's up? And they're all standing there and they're like, we were just flipping Monica's mattress. And then she's like, oh, can you flip mine for me too? And then they all groan, and Chandler goes, oh man. So I think it just seeped into my brain somehow.
Well, and also all of your dad's jokes, not your dad jokes, but your father's quips come from Friends too.
Right, which I didn't realize till like finishing the show. I was like, wow, every joke my dad's ever made in his life was like a version of this.
Lifted from Friends.
Literally.
What was the point of that?
We're just sharing.
We did Aw Man, and we had to explain
okay.
But yeah.
Anyways, I'm good. I just came off like a 5-day break. It wasn't it was a trip for someone, but it was
you were hosting.
I was a host trip for me.
But I do know that like living in LA, which is like a tourist destination, you don't do any, like, I don't do any tourist shit, but I also don't do any of the cool shit that you do. And it's only when you're hosting someone that you do some of the fun things.
Yeah, and I think last episode we talked about like, oh, I'm feeling really introverted right now, and I'm about to like host someone, and I don't know, I was feeling things about it. Obviously had a great time.
We're in the clear.
And
when he gets when you see him at the airport and you just go, oh
man. First off, I made him fly into Burbank, so I didn't even have to drive to LAX.
And anyone
Angelinos know what a big deal that is.
Yeah, anyone who's coming to LA, if possible, come to Burbank, because your friend that you're visiting doesn't want to pick you up at LAX, and it's just a better experience for you.
Literally.
First of all, 9 times out of 10, when you get off the plane, you get off straight onto the runway. I mean, come on.
Right.
You kind of feel like
baggage
you're doing private jet vibes.
Yeah. You can get off the back. Baggage claim is outside. Like,
there's nothing better than like getting, because it's like this in the Puerto Vallarta airport and probably other Mexico airports as well. You get off onto the tarmac. Nothing sets off a vacation the same way as like leaving the plane into the air of the plane. Like, there's a weird buffer of like having to be in the airport. Like, if you come to LAX and you have to like walk through that giant ass airport before you actually are in LA.
Yeah. It's horrifying.
Yeah. And like, there's such a better vibe of like, you're like, I'm so excited to be in LA, and you get off the plane in Burbank and you're just out in the
You're
LA
literally
sun.
surrounded by like the mountains and stuff, and it's like a warm feeling outside. It's in the theme of referencing SpongeBob episodes. Going to the LAX is like that episode where they have to go through the perfume department on the Flying Dutchman's ship, and it's like a slow-mo version.
Bro, why? This is crazy.
And it's like a slow-mo version of SpongeBob and Patrick running through the perfume department, and they're like, like that's literally what going through LAX is like. Whereas Burbank is just like
so nice,
wonderful.
It's not even nice. It's kind of old and shitty, but
it's just not overwhelming.
It's not overwhelming, and it's chill, and also it's giving like 80s LA, which is cool.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I made him fly to Burbank, and we went to Earth Cafe, Beachwood Cafe, Clark Street Diner, our restaurant, basically every fucking place on Franklin. While we were in Beachwood Cafe, my mother walked in, which was a moment. Unbeknownst to her, because...
Hi, welcome to LA. Here's my mom. You're going to be my mom right now.
Yeah. She came in for like 2 minutes and then left, and she did not see us, but she later told me that she almost scanned the room because she felt my presence.
She sensed your presence.
My dark energy was emanating apparently through
she
this
walked
cafe.
in and was, he's here.
No, she literally walked in and was like, they're coming. Like, that's literally like what my presence is like.
So true.
Yeah, we went to a couple like music events. The first one, he saw for the first time that LA people don't dance like that.
I didn't know other people do dance.
Right, like where do y'all do that?
Yeah.
No, everyone just kind of like bobs a little bit or stands up against the wall.
So anyways, they said it's terminal.
That was our other bit. I don't think we even explained, but like we'll be like casually dancing and say like devastating things or like
deliver devastating news while dancing at the club.
So your grandma has lung cancer. It's. I think Brett kind of made a TikTok like that. Who was at the event we went to at in Silver Lake.
Yeah.
But he's like this TikToker, and he made a joke. He was like that one friend who tries to bring up like really intense topics while you're like at a club or something. And he's like, so what are your guys' like biggest trauma?
That's so Abby coded. Shout out Abby, friend of the pod.
Yeah, so we were kind of like bouncing, and he was like, dance with me, and I was like, I am dancing, like what are you talking about? Like
that's what I'm doing. This is not, I don't just do this.
I was literally standing up against the wall with a drink in my hand, just going like this, and I was like, I'm literally dancing, like what are you talking about?
Leaning against the wall.
No, I for real was. Music was everything though. And then we also went to the Echo to see some of his friends DJ, at which point I got so drunk that I started like putting my hands on the ground and grinding on him, like fully.
And he was like, now that's dancing.
It was just crazy because no one else was dancing. They were doing the typical LA dancing, and I was in the front row like grinding on him with like face down, hands up. I mean,
ass up.
Face down, ass up.
Yeah, hands on the
face
floor.
down, hands down, ass up. Spirits up. I had a good time. Yeah, it was really crazy. And then we got street tacos on the sidewalk after, which he made me take a bite because I was like too drunk to drive.
Here, one bite of this street taco will help.
I was like, I'm showing you how we do things in LA. We like we bob a little on the dance floor, and then we drive drunk as fuck home.
Man, that was brave of you to show him how willing you are to drive drunk.
Mind you, I took my shirt off at some point too, just because I get that way when I'm drunk. I'm like, ugh, I gotta
get the shit off me.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're too drunk to drive, is when you start doing stuff like that. Yeah. That's how I know when you're too drunk to drive.
Yeah, I don't know shit when I'm that drunk. But
OG fans will remember the episode where we talked about the door guy not letting you into that bar because you were too drunk.
Yes, yeah. Throwback to when I tried to get into some fuck ass bar on Sunset called The Well, and he wouldn't let me in, and so I just immediately sprinted away and jumped on top of the roof of my car and started twerking.
Yeah.
I was twerking my pad off.
Yeah, and nobody. and for one brief moment, he was like, "Man, maybe I should have let that guy in the bar."
No, because I was saying the other day, imagine if I was just like, let me in, and he goes, no, and I go, fine, watch this, and then jump in the driver's seat of my car and just drive away and hit every single car on the way out.
Yeah.
But the biggest gag of the trip was that we went to Joshua Tree for one night. And Olivia Wilde's ex-husband owned the Airbnb, and everyone's like, Jason Sudeikis, and I'm like, no, not him. I would have said Jason Sudeikis if that was him.
Although that is kind of like, 10th wave feminism or whatever wave we're on to call Jason Sudeikis Olivia Wilde's
yeah, literally. No, but his name was Tao something. Are you looking him up?
Yeah, I want to find out who.
Tao, like the restaurant.
Tao.
I think so. He's also a filmmaker. He makes documentary films.
Rispoli. Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know what he looks like.
Kind of busted, kind of handsome.
Yeah, fine in a busted way.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put a picture of him up for the viewers.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh yeah, I'll put it right there. Anyway, so he owns this compound.
Yeah, which I found out after we got there, because he had his own.
How did you find it? It was Airbnb.
Yes, but when we got there, he had his own movie posters up on the wall, and we were like, "Oh, he makes movies." And we looked him up, and it was Olivia Wilde's ex-husband.
Oh, he's Thai, or he was born in Thailand. I don't know. What movies has he done?
It was just like random documentaries.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't really know.
He's Italian.
Yes, yeah. But it was like 4 Airbnbs on one like compound. And so we were staying in the library, which is like one of them, and there was like 3 other houses, but there's like a shared pool and jacuzzi that's in the center of like all the surrounding houses. So we walk up to the jacuzzi because we got there like 9 p.m. I think, and we walk up and there's like 4 girls in there. We couldn't really like make out who they were, but I was like, damn, like we heard the voices and we're like, who's it gonna be in the jacuzzi and stuff. But it was like 2 like bush lesbians and 2 like Middle Eastern model girls who were like just so beautiful you could drop dead.
From like Dubai or something?
From Qatar. And the way I knew this is because their license plate said Qatari on their, like, I think it was a Jaguar or a BMW or like something, some really nice car.
Oh yeah, and why were they there? One of them,
they told us, she was like, my boyfriend didn't want me to get lip filler, but I got it anyway. So I booked this Airbnb for one night to like hide from him while it's like swelling.
That's insane. There couldn't be a better reason.
No, it was crazy. And then the lesbians, and also the jacuzzi was clothing optional. So I saw some titties. You know, I love to see some titties. Yes. And then once they all left, we took our underwear off.
You didn't want to.
Not in front of the Qatari angels.
The princess. Yeah. Probably actual.
Literally,
princess.
probably royalty somewhere. Yeah. And the lesbians ended up cooking us chicken quesadillas that night, and we made s'mores by their fire pit. Ended up cooking us avocado toast and like a whole ass burrito with like bacon and eggs and all this shit the next morning. And it was just like a kiki. Like it was everything.
Wow.
And they were super cool. And they were like friends with Tao and stuff. And so I definitely will probably be back because it was magical, and the jacuzzi was everything, like an outside jacuzzi.
Oh, the lesbians knew.
One of them said they were like friends with Tao because she like found this place. Yeah. And then I showed her a picture of the bathtub in the place we were staying, because it was like super cunty big bathtub. That had like a wooden board on it, so we put a bunch of candles and it was like romantic and shit.
Like Saltburn vibes?
Yeah. I might have recreated that scene. And she said that she once did acid with 4 strangers, 2 of whom had just gotten married in the compound in that bathtub. Not gotten married in the bathtub, but she did acid with them in the bathtub, and they were like all naked and hanging out. And I was like, oh, so okay, it's like that kind of place. Like,
yeah. Well, I feel like that's kind of the Joshua Tree vibe in general.
Yeah. But like this little compound was just everything. Like,
all right, well, let's go. We could low key. I mean, I like the idea of you run into who you run into. Like, let's see who else is staying there. But we could also just book all the places with a big group. And
no, that it'd literally be everything if all your friends took up all the houses and stayed for like a while. It was everything. So we had a good time. I went to Little Tokyo for the first time. That was everything. They have this like really cool photo booth where you like take photos, but it's like a full body thing, and then you go outside and on a touch screen you edit the photos. It's like this like Japanese thing. No, you can like write on them and add stickers and shit, like decorate the photos before they print. It was super cute.
That does sound cute. So yeah, I mean, that sounds like
it was a good time. And then it was such a good time, in fact, that I booked a flight to New York for next week. After I made a whole thing about not going to New York in the cold weather.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you've been making that's been a huge part of who you've been recently.
Is not going to New York.
Yeah, you've been like, hi, I'm Scott, and I'm not fucking going to New York in fucking February.
Hi, I'm Scott, and I don't go to New York in February. That's literally how I've been acting.
Yeah. And you would be right for living that way. I mean, that's crazy. It's fucking horrible over there.
Well, he left quite a sweet note for me that may have changed my mind after. Mind you, I'm also going to like work. Staying with Umfi Corinne, and we're like working on a script right now, so like I'm going to do like a power writing session for like one day.
Mostly that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited, leaving in 4 days.
Yeah, that's bananas. You're like
first New York trip of the year. It's January and I'm already going to New York.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be several this year, I can already tell.
Well, to sum up, like when was last New York trip?
There was 2 last year.
But the most recent one was
last month.
Yes. So it's been December New York trip, took like 10 days off of work.
Yeah.
And then took this whole week off work to be a good host. And then now you're going to New York again. How is this possible?
Credit cards, honey.
And also the podcast is generating so much money.
No, and yeah, people keep asking me how much things cost, and I'm like,
fuck if I know.
Get your money up, ho. Like, I put it on a credit card. It's free money. I'm not looking how much it costs.
Yeah. All I do is swipe.
All I do is swipe. And not on Tinder.
Right. Or Grindr. Can you swipe
on Grindr.
Do you swipe on that?
No, you don't.
No. Okay.
Someone asked me somehow
hold the hatred in.
Somehow the other night asked me in front of everyone. He was like, "You look so familiar." Mind you, he works at this.
He works on Franklin.
He works at a restaurant on Franklin, 2 doors down from us. And he was like, "You look so familiar." And I was like,
probably because you've seen me all the time.
I work next door to you. That's probably why I'm familiar. And he goes, "No, are you on Grindr?" And I was like, "Oh, what you said?
Gotta bleep that.
Queen."
And
I said,
he
no,
was like,
of course.
and you were like, no, and he was like, yeah, it is. I'm sure of it.
No, literally, he was like, "Do you go to WeHo?" And I was like, "I sure the fuck do not. I'm not on Grindr. I don't go to WeHo, and you know me from here."
God damn it. And it's so funny.
Sorry.
The mental gymnastics. He was just like, I know it's not. The reason I'm seeing you right now, it's not that same reason. Like, how could it possibly be anything other than we work next door to each
Yeah,
other?
no. I don't like gay people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with them, but.
So what'd you do while I was gallivanting around LA?
Well, it's funny because if they remember from our New Year's episode, I'm sober right now, and at the same time
From alcohol.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been stoned almost
Yeah.
almost 24 hours a day, and I've been doing more social things. Like I've had 2 birthdays. I talked about that bar I was at where I was like, nobody in the history of this bar has ever been sober here.
Right.
And I joined this bowling league.
Yeah, you joined a bowling league, which is kind of crazy.
And I don't bowl. I thought I missed an opportunity for a great bit. I should have like bought custom bowling shoes and like a ball, and then showed up and been like, by the way, I haven't bowled in 10 years, but like have my own equipment. It would have been great. Yeah, so there's this cool bar at the Roosevelt called the Spare Room, and they have 2 lanes there. It's like the small bar where it's just big enough for like, literally there's like 8 seats at the bar, 2 bowling lanes, and then some tables, and it's like super nice and super expensive.
Is that where you went?
Yeah, that's where the league is.
Oh.
It was at the Spare Room.
Yeah, I know all about it because I used to work at the Roosevelt.
So it's cool. It's like this old school bowling alley. When you bowl, like there's no screens or anything. It's like just a series of lights that tells you which pins are remaining. The scoreboards are chalk. There's like a bowling attendant.
Oh, okay.
Who like watches you bowl and keeps track
What
of
the hell?
score. Yeah, it's
that's
like,
crazy.
It's very cool. And we won. One of my teammates, Scotty, he was really sick one day and had this fever dream where he came up with our team name, and it's the team name is Aspare, I guess. And he woke up from a fever nap laughing out loud, and so we were like, okay, well, we can't argue with that. That's gonna be the team name. But yeah, it's really
Aspare, I guess.
Yeah, Aspare, I guess. Aspare, I guess. Like asparagus, but also
Right.
Right. But yeah, it's just a funny thing to do when you're completely sober.
So are you good at bowling or no?
I'm all right. I was the worst one on my team, but I was better than the other team.
Well, I discovered I'm good at pool. Better than I thought.
Oh yeah, where was that? At shortstop?
At the shortstop in Echo Park. And I was pooling and I got like 2 balls in at once.
Yeah, I can tell just from that you're good.
Yeah, and some random guy was trying to like tell me the proper technique to like hold the stick, and I was like, no, I got my technique.
The results speak for themselves.
And I used my random technique, and he's like, damn, don't listen to me. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't. That's how I just got 2 balls. So I pretty much won us the game. I think we won. I can't remember.
Well, if you're getting 2 balls in.
I'm always getting 2 balls in.
So yeah, now I'm terrible at pool, by the way, but I am gonna go on another first date and play pool.
Another first date?
Yeah, and I are doing a series of first dates.
Because you've already had a series of sleeping together.
Yeah. So now we need to get the first dates out of the way.
Oh my god, yeah, we're twinning so hard.
We went to so now bowling is my entire personality. The same way that whatever the most recent movie you watched becomes your.
Yes, right.
I'm a bowling league guy now. So our first date.
Hi, I'm Patrick, and my bowling league performs tomorrow.
It's Mondays. But so yesterday we had a first date where we went bowling because I was like, look, I think this is a cute idea for us to go bowling, but I also really need to practice. So I was like, we're going to be having fun.
Just really silently. I also really need to practice.
We're going to be having fun, and it's going to be like a fun, cute little date, but I'm going to be trying really, really hard. And sure enough, if we don't fucking walk in and there's a regular from the bar we used to work at there. Literally the adjacent lane.
I can't express enough how crazy it is that everywhere Patrick or I go independently of each other, we see someone we know.
Yeah.
Anywhere in LA.
No, and if you just the odds are so astounding. Like there's 10 million people here. What the fuck
10 million is
about?
crazy.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought you had the LA County population on lock.
I'm about to. 4 million people here.
Right, the odds just significantly increased for us to like run into someone. But still, no, 4 million people in LA proper, and we run into someone every fucking where we go.
Yeah, and it's always some. I mean, okay, she might see this, the person I ran into, and I do have a lot of love for her, but it's always someone I don't want to motherfucking see. That's all I know. Oh wait, no, look, it says in the metropolitan LA
13
area,
million.
13 million, which would mean, because like Los Angeles is one city on like for like address purposes,
right?
Like where we live, we put Los Angeles on our.
Well, I'm just
mail.
calling LA proper because if I went down to Long Beach, that might be considered
no
LA metropolitan area.
Well,
is it?
Maybe this is LA.
Because I wouldn't see a bitch I know in Long
There's
Beach.
Los Angeles County too, but I think LA metro area, like 4 million is where we live, Los Angeles. Where if you're on your address, it says Los Angeles.
Well, yes.
But if you live in North Hollywood, it says North Hollywood on your address.
Right.
But that's still, I think, counting for the 10 million.
Okay, so let's just go with a cool 10 million.
Either way, it's fucking ridiculous that every time I step out and I'm like trying to be, especially if I'm trying to not see someone I know, I'm seeing someone I know.
That's why I don't feel crazy when I'm like, I want to stay in because I don't want to see anyone I know, because it's like literally, you'd think like, oh my God, you're not going to see anyone you know. There's fucking 10 million people here. But then like, it's like, no, like, genuinely, if I step out, like,
yeah.
I'm almost guaranteed to see multiple people I know sometimes.
It's bananas. And it's also like, at this point, I feel like I could go on a date in fucking Toronto and I would run into someone from Los Angeles.
Right,
like,
right.
It's pretty crazy. But anyways, yeah, so I'm a big bowling guy now.
All right, so you're bowling, I'm pooling, and we're bulling.
We should... We're bulling in the butt? Do you not...
What?
Well, do you not... What do you mean when you said bulling?
Like we're bulling.
Yeah, do you know what that's like slang from like gang culture, where if you're a blood, you replace the C in words with B, because it's like
Yes, I fucking know that.
yeah.
That's why I said we're bulling.
Right,
because we're
and
bloods and we're
in the
cooling.
butt. And cooling in the cut.
What is in the cut though? That's
in the
what
cut
I don't
means
understand.
like cutty. It means like you're like incognito. You're in the cut means I'm chilling in a.
Oh yeah, we should stop talking now.
All right, let me write down the time code to bleep that entire part. Anyways, that's the personal stuff. What about these fucking Oscar noms?
Nominations for the Oscars.
Yeah. I mean, the Boscar bombs.
So you want a bacon nugget and free
Chocolate
bit bookies? Yeah, Oscar noms came out, and Ho's mad.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't get it.
Ho's mad about Barbie.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm saying it in the blood way.
Yeah, and the weird thing is Crips
Carby.
Crips don't do the opposite. They don't replace B's with C's.
Well, because that's just crazy. That's brazy.
That is brazy. Yeah, so...
Brazy got an abomination. I mean, Barbie.
So Ryan Gagling got two
abominations.
And
Margot Bobby got
Greta Gagwig didn't get a single.
Right.
So she didn't get...
It's so hard trying to communicate with...
So she didn't... Yeah, we can stop. We got to stop the bit.
Greta Gagwig and Margot Bobby didn't get any nominations, but Ryan Gagling got 2.
Right.
And everyone's saying that the Gag-Cademy did not listen to the movie.
Right, because... Okay.
This is insane.
The movie, if you haven't seen Barbie, is like about... It's like...
How hard it is to be a woman. Yeah, how hard it is to be a woman.
And instead, a man... gets nominated.
Yeah, he gets nominated twice over. Let it be known, America Ferrera got nominated for something. Best Supporting Actress, I want to say. But they literally released statements saying that, like, Margot and Greta were, like, super snubbed and that the movie wouldn't have happened without them, blah, blah, blah.
Well, so Greta could have only been nominated for Best Director, right?
Yeah, maybe producer.
And for those... Because the thing is, it didn't get snubbed because it still gets nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Picture.
Yeah, which are big categories.
Yeah, and like Margot Robbie, like should she have gotten Best? Like, let me read the other Best Actress.
Yeah, let's see who we're saying she got snubbed against.
So we have Carey Mulligan from Maestro.
Didn't see,
but she slays everything usually.
Always.
Emma Stone, Poor Things.
8.
Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, who's gonna win.
I heard she ate.
Annette Bening,
always eats.
And then Sandra Hüller, who I don't know. She's from Anatomy of a Fall, which I've heard was like really, really good.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
So you're gonna tell me, like, okay, cool, maybe like give her a nomination. She's not fucking gonna win.
Here's the tea. Yeah, it's like, why even waste nomination if you for sure know she's not gonna win? Like, at least the other ones I could see, like, maybe, like, oh, it could be competitive.
I mean, if Lily Gladstone,
which she's gonna win, regardless of like the other performances,
just politically.
Because she's the first Native American woman to be nominated.
Yeah, and the Academy,
and it'd be great to see her be the first to win, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the Academy is definitely like trying to break down those barriers lately. Like, they're trying hard to to have more representation. But like Margot Robbie didn't really act.
Here's the T. Here's the B. Margot Robbie's acting performance as Barbie can only be like as complex as a fucking Barbie doll.
True.
Like, they tried to turn the movie into like a feminist like thing or whatever, but it's like, someone said it was a mix between like being for Disney adults and like literal children, and that makes it like too gray area to be like, who the fuck is this for? Because like, who is in between being a Disney adult and a child?
I did think it was just for children.
I thought it was too. Like, our manager's daughter went to go see it, and she's 9, and
I saw it with her.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I think I enjoyed it more than I ever could have on my own, because I was like partially watching it through the lens of an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
and it was really awesome to like, and the message for her to like receive that message that you
now,
can do
yeah, because kids, I don't think got that message back then, like as mainstream as this.
Yeah,
through something as like cool as Barbie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, she didn't have to act that hard. I don't understand why people want her to get a nomination. They wanted to get it for political reasons, and it's like, well, girl, this is for acting skills. Like,
I mean,
that's what I don't understand.
I agree. Like, when you're talking about some of these like hard-hitting performances, I don't see how. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, why does the nomination matter if it's a guarantee?
First of all, I thought we were like saying Oscars too white, scammies. Like, I thought the awards were over, but then as soon as someone doesn't get nominated for one, everyone's mad. That's
as soon as like
number one issue.
As soon as like maybe the prettiest white woman alive doesn't get nominated for like not really that crazy of a performance. Now, I can understand the Greta Gerwig maybe a little bit. I don't really. It's not like, oh man, she directed.
As if
her ass
Noah
off.
Baumbach didn't like ghost write / direct like most of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
But also-
misogynistic.
I mean, crediting a man for the accomplishments of a woman. Fits right.
No, I'm saying I'm ghost crediting the accomplishments of a woman.
It's ghost misogyny.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm ghost misogyny. Her accomplishments.
Also, like, I'm sorry to say, but Christopher Nolan is probably gonna win
I'm sure.
Best
Yeah.
Director.
Oh my god, when he comes into our restaurant after winning like
Do you think he's gonna
Oscar for Best Director?
Don't you think he's gonna be too? He's gonna be like,
Too
why
high
would I keep coming-
status.
Why would I keep coming there?
Like, I have an Oscar now. Why the fuck am I going to that bar on Franklin?
Yeah. It's because he likes our mid-ass food, I guess. But yeah, so I kind of disagree with the snubs. Now, I do think that I'm Just Ken shouldn't be nominated for any awards.
Not when Dua Lipa's song was right there.
First of all, there's 3 songs from Barbie that are nominated.
And Billie Eilish.
And Billie Eilish is going to
Billie's
win.
was nominated. Dua's wasn't. Charlie's wasn't.
Oh, the Golden Globes, Dua, Ryan Gosling, and Billie Eilish all got nommed.
Okay. Well,
And Ryan Gosling won in the Critics' Choice Award.
yeah, and even he was confused. Even he was weirded out.
Because that's a stupid song. It's a joke of a song. Like, it's not.
Well, yes.
You know what I mean? It's
but
a
aside
parody.
from the song, like the real tea that hoes are coping with is that Ryan Gosling also stole the Barbie movie.
I don't think anyone was ready to hear that.
Cope. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, he was the only one who made me laugh out loud. Like,
Michael Cera made me laugh out loud. Alan.
Another Man
Yeah.
made you laugh in the Barbie movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Praying for them.
but the jokes were at his expense, so it's still, the messaging is.
That's
still
what I'm
getting
saying.
across.
Like, Barbie needed to be there, but
like I laughed out loud when they're like trying to distract all the Kens so that they can unbrainwash the Barbies. Spoiler, I guess.
spoiler.
And they're like, tell them you don't know, like tell them you don't understand the stock market or whatever, or like tell them you've never seen The Godfather and ask him to explain it to you as you watch the movie. Like that shit made me laugh out loud. And like the men were being funny, but like the premise was still like it was making fun of how all men are like just want to mansplain things constantly.
Yeah. I don't know. It was
Do you
definitely.
know what mansplaining is, by the way? I can explain that to you.
No, can you please explain? It was definitely like extreme ends of both like genders. Like it was like these type of men and these type of women, but I'm sorry, like not all women and not all men are like that. So
No, all men are like that. They are.
Not me. I'm a man.
Oh.
Contrary to popular belief, and contrary to my pink aura and feminine soul.
I guess that's what threw me off.
And me saying I'm a girl every other fucking waking minute.
Yeah. Me saying a little girl like me shouldn't have to deal with this.
Speaking of fucking which, every man loves to say that now.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't. This is kind of new to me, but.
Okay. Well, it's reached its official like joke over moment with Jacob Elordi hosting SNL.
Yeah.
And whoever the fuck's sitting next to him is like, "You're right, Renee Rapp. Jacob is baby girl," and he's literally like, "I'm baby girl. What does that make you, Renee?" It's literally so disgusting. Like I'm cringing just thinking about it.
Yeah, it is cringe. It's also cringe hearing him say anything in his deep ass like.
And his trying to be sexy voice,
halfway Australian accent.
Yeah, and then I think he went on like Jimmy's somebody and was being
one
interviewed.
Of the Jimmy shows.
He's being interviewed, and they made him sniff the candle. That's Jacob Elordi's bathwater candle, and he's sniffing it, and then he just starts like slurping on it, and like looks at the crowd like that, and is like slurping the candle, and it's so fucking gross.
Well, okay, so would you say the baby girl thing? That's playing to just the youth,
Gen Z for sure.
Gen Z, but like the slurping, that's queer baiting.
Well, yes. Like why are you
straight.
pretending to slurp up like what is supposed to be like your cum and about?
Also, does that candle cum smells like something? Does that candle just smell like cum?
I don't know.
There's a tree on my walk to work that smells like cum.
Samantha in Sex and the City said she was trying to describe the smell, and she's like, Fuck. She said asparagus. She says like asparagus gone bad or something because she's dating a guy with the funkiest tasting spunk. And then she's like, it's asparagus and something else. What is it? Was it? And she's like, I know, Clorox. And I was like, so true, queen.
Yeah,
that's literally what it is.
There's a little bit of bleachiness to it. That's crazy.
And then Carrie goes, well, at least it'll get your whites whiter. And she goes, this is serious. I almost gagged. I could just keep going, sorry.
Yeah, I know. You could quote the entire rest of the episode verbatim. Not you being gagged about a gag from Sex and the City, like, at this point, 20 years ago. And you laughing about it like it's the first time you're hearing that joke.
It's an iconic line, but, like, yeah, if the candle smells like that, I know it's just nasty. Mm-hmm. Him slurping it is, like...
It all really started with that interview where he was like, I'm glad if someone was going to guzzle my cum, it was...
He said, I was so proud to see Barry Keoghan slurp my cum up like that. It's like, maybe kill yourself. This all started with Harry Styles,
as a joke. That's a joke, though.
This all started with Harry Styles, who I believe was being fed lines through a earpiece in his ear. And they were like, quick, say this, like in the middle of interviews. And I fear that's what's happening to Jacob Elordi. If not, then there's like some sort of technology advancement that we don't know about where he's being like controlled or something.
It's the Elon Musk Neuralink.
Yes. Jacob Elordi has Elon Musk's Neuralink implanted in his head, and he can even control when he like slurps his candle on Jimmy Fallon or calls himself baby girl.
The only development they've made with the Neuralink is that you queer bait.
Is that it baby girlifies men?
Yeah, they're like, we can't really get it to do everything we want, but we can make it do this. So.
And it's just not being released because notice how every like up and coming like celeb is gay. Like Renee Rapp is lesbian. Jacob Elordi is like queer baiting as gay or whatever the fuck. Joshua, that guy who dated Olivia Rodrigo, like said he was like queer.
Queer.
Whatever the fuck that means. He's beer. Yeah, it's definitely the Neuralink has been implanted in their heads. Yeah. And they're just like the beta testers and it's turning them gay.
Well, Alex Jones, who... You know Alex Jones, right?
Well, yes.
Yes. And he had like that one soundbite where he's like, the water's making the frogs gay or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
it's the fluoride in the water, the seed oils in the fast food.
And the Neuralink in your brain.
And Elon's Neuralink beta testing going on, unbeknownst to the general public.
Right. And when Alex Jones turns out to have been right the whole time, that's a tough reality to live in.
Alex Bones.
Alex Bones.
All this to say that being gay is wrong. That's what we're implying here.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can say it out loud. I don't know that we needed to, though.
The unspoken, like, the open secret of Hollywood is that being gay is wrong.
Yeah, well, and also I feel like Jacob Elordi is like, he's really wearing out his welcomes in a way faster than I've seen someone do before. Mm-hmm. Like Harry Styles stayed, like he did fine. I think he like eased off the queer baiting enough too. Yeah,
luckily I haven't heard shit about Harry Styles in a minute. He's probably like getting a new face or something. Like he's recharging in the Neuralink headquarters. Yeah. And he's gonna come back.
They're probably like just wait for version 2 where he actually does slurp cum for real.
Yeah, and then.
But Jacob Elordi is just, it's not even really his fault. I feel like he is hot, right? He's like conventionally hot.
Sure.
He's 6'5". But he is also, it's like he's being caught in this moment that he doesn't have anything to do with. And now he's just getting cast and everything. And of course you're going to take every role you can get. He wants to be an actor. That's his. Yeah, but do you have to be cringe in your interviews in between that? Like, I feel like I'd be normal if I knew I was being oversaturated in pop culture right now. I don't think, A, he might not know that, but B, I think he's just like responding to what makes the crowd go, woo, like. Yeah, is he just like a big dog and he's just like, this makes people scream. I will do this now. Like he doesn't even understand. I don't think he knows that he's queer baiting. And then have you seen what Renee Rapp is doing in interviews? Mm-hmm. Where she'll just say anything. It's like there's no filter on her brain and she's just like speaking and it's making everyone like be like, oh my God, like Renee, shut up. What is she saying? She said in an interview, she was like,
because she did a song with Megan Thee Stallion. She's like,
Right.
I love Megan Thee Stallion, and fuck that man. Talking about Tory Lanez.
Right.
She's like, I've been on her side since the beginning, and like all of a sudden she went on a whole tangent, and it was like crazy. Like, love her for that. And then she went on another tangent about someone else, and she was like, I like went to this like man's like small business the other day, and he was so fucking rude to my friends. I hope your business burns. Like, she literally said something like that. She was like, I hope you're doing horrible. It's something like that. And it was just like, she has just been like saying anything that's on her fucking mind. And everyone's like, love this. But then some people are predicting that she's going to be hated for it in like circa like a year and a half.
Yeah, if that.
Like, the tide's going to turn on her.
Things are moving so quickly now. And also, it depends on what she says. Like, she might just say some real crazy shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm waiting. These up and coming actors and actresses are really interesting to watch. Ayo is like the only perfect funny girl that I love.
Yeah, it's weird.
Ayo Edebri. I don't know how to say her last name. From the girl from The Bear.
Yeah, who is
and Bottoms.
So dope. I don't know. There's like this cycle where you don't even necessarily play a part or have a choice in when the public turns on you. Like,
right,
Phoebe Bridgers didn't do a single thing wrong. And
literally.
And everyone just was like, I don't think I like this bitch
No,
anymore.
yeah, it's crazy how the public turns. Like, I don't understand what causes it.
I don't either. But I mean, when it comes to Jacob Elordi, it's certainly overexposure. Like, he's just...
I'm over him. I've seen enough.
Yeah, and he's only really been in 2 things recently.
Yeah.
He's been in Priscilla and fucking Saltburn.
Yeah.
And like Euphoria 15 years ago, when that first aired.
And then he'll be in Euphoria again 15 years from now.
Yeah. That's it. That's all he's been in, and I'm like sick of seeing him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Jeremy Allen White has only been in The Iron Claw and fucking The Bear, and I'm sick of his ass.
I'm not too sick of... I feel like I'm having a response to Jacob Elordi, and now I'm like, Jeremy Allen White, save me. Save me from...
Ugly, tiny man. Save me from
hot, tall man. Yeah, like...
You don't have to do this.
Well, some of us don't find him as attractive as other people.
You did, though.
I did, but again, I see auras first. And when I see a man clearly trying to, like, woo a crowd... It's like that tweet that was like, if you can't intuit where a bathroom is, and you have to ask where the bathroom is, like, I get the ick. Like, when I can see a man trying to please a crowd, like, you can't do that naturally, I get the ick. Mm-hmm. Jeremy Allen White...
Your general charisma should please everyone.
Literally, like, you shouldn't have to, like, try to do things to please the crowd. He's, like, you know? That's, I think, my realty with Jacob.
Couldn't agree more. I don't think he has to do that stuff. He just is for some reason.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing it at first. I was like, he has the potential to be our Rock Hudson.
Well,
our Bach Budson.
Well,
except that he knew the truth that being gay was wrong, so he tried to hide it. And here comes Jacob being like,
he's kind of the anti
yes, yeah, he's anti Bach Budson.
He's Bach Budson, which is
he's Bach Budson, yeah, who is the evil twin of Rock Hudson.
Yeah, because he's like, Rock Hudson was like, I have to hide my true gay nature in order to succeed in this industry. And Jacob Elordi's like, I have to hide my straightness to succeed in this
literally
industry.
See how the tables have turned.
We've strayed too far from the light of God.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Jeremy Allen White's a classic straight man. Yeah. Who doesn't try to queerbait at all.
He's kind of like, I feel like he's like more like a Marlon Brando, where he's like...
So true. He's our modern day, he's our Barlin Brando. Barlin Brando.
He like would rather not be famous. I get the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that
he wants to be fucking some Tahitian princess on a random island?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Which is like so Barlin Brando. Do you think that that the public responds to the other public responding to somebody? Like, that's why, like, people turn on people not because the person did something wrong, but because they're sick of like all the love that person's getting. Yeah,
so I was gonna say about Kanye, like, maybe when someone else bad re-enters like the zeitgeist, like Kanye's been quiet for a second, but now he keeps posting his like wife.
Yeah, posting maybe, like near nude pictures of his wife.
And maybe people are just mad and it's obvious to give him hate, and like everyone's already generally hating him, so like, let's direct this hate towards someone else, because Kanye is already like, everyone knows we've
already put him in the category that he...
Yeah, I feel like it's just kind of like looking at Jacob Elordi or something and be like, you know what, fuck you too. Like, Kanye just pissed me off and fuck you too.
Yeah, it could be. And I do think there's also like you you're just like with Jeremy Allen White, there's like this fight back against people who like him or think he's hot because they're like, he's not hot or whatever. Like they're getting angry that other people think he's hot, so they want to tear him down. I don't know.
That's why people randomly just start getting hate because it's like something's got to trigger it.
Like
Maybe
Phoebe
like the stars
Bridgers,
align.
all she ever did was like be a better songwriter than Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Clock that T. Clock that T.
And be like cute and unproblematic.
But then she wears some fuck ass suit to a award show at one time and it's over for her.
Remember, man.
But she'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because the public turns
She does
quick.
need to drop new music. That's
I don't listen to her.
You would love her. You really would. But yeah, and Ye is I think Ye is about to make it a lot easier for everyone to get away with stuff. Because I just feel something in the air that he's about to, like first of all, Vultures is supposed to drop same day as Ariana.
On International Women's Day.
Mind you, Bianca Sensori, who is his wife, who like everyone calls a Kim dupe because she's just got like big fake tits and a BBL and
a vaguely Armenian look.
Yeah, even though she's not. She's very beautiful. She also has a master's degree in architecture.
See, this is the feminism I'm rooting for. Like, fuck Margot Robbie's Oscar abomination. This bitch has a master's degree in architecture, but is like posting like that's range. Is being posted almost fully nude as Kanye's wife on his Instagram all the time during his problematic era.
Yeah.
Like, that's a woman.
She was like,
that's a whole woman.
Yeah. And they met she worked for Yeezy, which like, why does Yeezy employ an architect? Is a question.
She build their brick and mortar like store?
Yeah. Do they have a brick and mortar?
No,
store?
I don't think they do.
But yeah, it's just, anyways, regardless of her, which I just love that everyone just so vastly underestimates her because she literally has a fucking degree. But I just feel like, first of all, Vultures has been delayed like 15 times, so don't
let it get delayed one more time.
Don't be surprised if it does. But also, he deleted everything off of his Instagram, and all it is now is pictures of Bianca in like various very like weird, either nearly naked or like wearing like weird sex kind of like like S&M type, you know what I mean?
Yeah, in public.
Yeah. And I just think that he's getting ready to just like say something crazy. He's
Again,
like,
the range.
He's charging up a bruh that he's about to
literally, and this is far more interesting than the Barbie movie.
I agree. There's a
I agree.
He apologized for like all the anti-Semitic stuff he said.
Oh, it's okay, Kanye.
Which I feel you guys know I was just joking, right?
He literally said, I was just kidding, right?
He posted an apology literally in Hebrew. So I don't know what Jew was willing to like translate that for him. But don't you think that he's like, that means he's getting ready to like really devastate the world with some...
What's a step further than anti-Semitism though?
I can't think of anything worse, to be honest.
In this day and age, I really can't. Like, that's...
No, what if he was like apologizing just so he can really be super anti-Semitic again? like
I mean, the next step is like rounding them up.
I don't think he has.
I
don't think he has the power to do that yet.
I wouldn't underestimate
Banye Best and Bianca. Sorry. Yeah, I mean,
they're blotting.
They're blotting something Binister.
Yeah, we should be on the lookout.
Oh. But anyways, yeah. So that's something to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so the men are baby girls. Kanye's up to something. Kanye's apologizing in Hebrew about his anti-Semitism. The Oscar noms are a wreck.
Yeah, we didn't even
some.
And like, if anyone's like, man, listening, and they're like, man, they really are avoiding the presidential election. We are.
Well, yes,
we are. I don't want to talk about that shit. So we're
all of this is because it's an election year.
Right.
Anything that happens this
all
year,
a fucking psyop,
it's preordained.
Dude.
It's the Neuralink. It's coming. Mm-hmm. That's what the election year is all about. Is they're like soft launching the Neuralink thing to implant in our brains.
Yeah, I mean, that's as good a theory as any.
It's not a theory. It's literally true. I know for a fact. Because we live in Hollywood. We see it on a day-to-day basis.
Should we call Alex Jones and try and get him on the pod?
Well, yes.
I think maybe it's time we hear him out. Except for like the stuff where he says like school shootings are like paid actors. And stuff.
No, I don't think that.
I disagree with that. But the gay frogs and gay people being bad.
Yeah.
We can all agree.
Backs.
Well, we're at time, so I think we really covered a lot of ground here.
Hopefully we've influenced y'all to
be the Bruce.
Go out and spread the gospel.
Oh man, this bit ends as soon as this episode ends.
I've had too much boffy.
We cannot continue this into our real lives. All right, y'all. As always, thanks for listening. Spotify, YouTube, if you want.
Spotify, BooTube.
If you want to look at our bases, and what's the other one? Apple Podcasts. If you want to to listen. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.